a a workflow of how the presentation will look like. You have about let's just say 5 to 7 minutes to do your presentations, about your presentation, your findings, your challenges and questions, if any. So the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Can you all hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
we can hear you.
All right. My name is Adejo Ibrahim. I'm presenting for Group 2. The project, which is the third project in the series of our internship, has to do with a school which has students, and we're given 3 files which contain 13 tables. 13 tables, and the 13 tables are why 10 has the subjects, 2 has the student profiles, and while the last has courses. Where these tables are in CSV format. And please, are you seeing my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen. Go ahead.
Yes, so that is my SQL screen. So we're asked to use MySQL connected to the Power BI, which we loaded. I created a database with the name Ade and loaded all the tables into it. While I did that, I tried to check and run and see if the tables were properly loaded. If the tables were properly loaded in there, the 13 of them, say 9y9. Okay, the 13 of them loaded. In order to check the work, I did a trial join of the tables, which gave me these results I'm having here. That is the table after doing the joins. After that, I went to my Power BI. We went to our Power BI, which I'm bringing up now, and we had to go to get data. Under the get data, I went to my SQL database and did the connect. On connecting, the tables was loaded, and there was no need to transform the table. Again, that was loaded because it's already a clean table. The data is already clean, which went further to check the model view. The model view, which is showing on the screen now, using the student profile, students, and the courses, the flow was created, after which we had to go to the dashboard. In the dashboard, I created this dashboard, which was the first dashboard that I created in order to check the workings of my table. There also, I had to bring out the student total as well as the student average, which is seen there, and had it showing all the 30 students. In table 2, based on what we're asked to do, I got the average for each subject. Average for each subject, which Agric had 88.7, Geography 84.9, 83.9, 87, all through like that, and created a chart, 3 charts for the maximum scores and of the subjects as well. While this, I got insights where I developed this report. And from the insight, we had a total of 30 students. 15 of them are females, while 15 are male. The average age is 13.97, with the oldest students being 19 years old and the youngest 10 years old. The top performance in the class are 2 persons, Christopher Lewis, we picked first 2 and the second 2, Christopher Lewis, which has 92.7, and Sarah Brown, 92.3, while the lowest is 76.7, and Michael Smith, 77.6, Ashley Davis and Michael Smith. We looked at the highest and the lowest score in each subject and the person who had it for each subject, as you can see, agriculture, biology, all through. When we looked at the subject average for each subject are highlighted 90.7 in agriculture, while average. The male had 85.67, while female had 90.4. The female students performed better in agric. In biology, with a 3.93, 10 students scored below average. Female performed better with a 4.87 average. In chemistry, 89.23 was the average. 14 students performed below average, while male students performed better here with 89.53 average. In computer, 86.43 was the average. 12 students performed below average, with the female students performing better averagely, it's 7.33. English, we had an average of 8.43. The female student performed better, with 12 students performing below average. The geography, 84.90, 14 students performed below average, with the female performed below the average score. In literature, the female performed above the average, with 5 students performed below average. 84.90 is the average there. In mathematics, we have 82.47 as the average. 18 students performed below average, while the male had below average of 80.93. While in TD, the females performed better. The average of the whole class is 2.60, with 18 students performing below average. That is for the performance of the class. Problem faced during the project was in the area of connecting between the Power BI. The first thing was the area of connecting between the Power BI and the MySQL. I had to download several connectors. Even I had to approach the Azyten coordinator who gave me a link. I did that, it did not work. So I had to go into different tutorials to get that problem solved. Another challenge I faced during the project again is that I tried to do a trial join to check if it works of the entire table which I had there. But it returns, when I try to do a connection between the subjects, the student profile, student, and the courses, it returned 0 rows, which I'm showing here. It returns 0 rows. So I'll be asking the lesson learned here is that I never knew that there will be, we never knew that it's possible. Originally what we learned was that we just upload the CSV files into the Power BI. But in this now, we know that when we have worked out a course, we would have a job to do, and we've done it in the SQL table. We could actually connect it to the Power BI directly to create a dashboard. So my question to the Azyten team is that why do we have 0 rows being returned when we do this connection? You can see my table there, my SQL table there. That is where I had to do all the joins with the subjects, and it returns 0 rows were returned. You can see that there. So why is that? So what is the problem? I tried to get that solved. And this thing also went as far as showing up in the Power BI, in the connector of the Power BI, where in modeling, where I try to manage the relationship. If you look at here now, you can see that course code, biology course code, and this thing is inactive in the dashboard, in the relationship. I tried over and over again to see that I create that relationship, but it still keeps, after everything, it still keeps giving me that aspect of it is inactive, because the table course table has 10 rows, 2 columns and 10 rows, unlike the student profile, which has 30 rows in addition with the columns. So that is my question. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
So, first of all, you started by 10:17. You finished by 10:28. So you spent about 11 minutes, I should think, which is far much more than what was given. My feedback to you is you should be wary of time. As for the question you are asking, let's see your syntax. We can either solve that now or solve that later. Let's see your syntax. Go to your MySQL. Let's see your syntax, what you are trying to do. So this ordinarily is going to show you, this syntax is going to show you 0 result. And that's because you are using the wrong table as a reference table. If I were you, try joining all.
Very of time. So kawai abin da zaki
Somebody's
schooling din mu ne da Gideon.
Awa, please mute your. So can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so you are using the wrong table as a reference table. So what I would advise you to do is to join all the courses first. Don't do an inner join, just join. Then you can start joining the course table, the student table, as well as the student information table if you want. But join all the courses first, then you can then join the rest of the table. You can make reference to one of the tutorials I did. Let me send you a link of it. I'll send you a link of it so that you see what you did wrong. But nice presentation so far. The other thing I was expecting a report card. That was my expectation. But well, you interpreted the data the way you understood it. But that was my own expectation. I was expecting a report card. But yet you did excellently well. It's fine. Thank you very much. And also, I would like to tell you that you can also write some of these syntax when you are importing your tables. So for instance, Mr. Adejo, go to get data. Go to get data, go to your MySQL database. Yeah, try to connect. Now click on advanced options. So in your advanced option, you can write SQL statement connecting to that database. You don't have to come and do those relationships in the Power BI per se. You can actually write some of these statements, your SQL statement there, and it's going to come out in a tabular format in the way you actually want it. I don't know if that makes sense. You really don't have to write any syntax on your SQL table or on your SQL workbench. What you could just do is to write it here, and it's going to import whatever it is you want to import to your Power BI. I'll also share. I don't know if I've done any tutorials on that, but I will share that soon as well. But thank you very much. Salamatu, you are next. You have 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. You can start your presentation now. This is 10:32. Kindly present. We are waiting for you. If you are not ready, let's give John Emeka the stage.
Should I go ahead and present, sir?
Please go ahead.
Sir.
This is 10:33.
Okay. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
I will be presenting for Group 7, and I will be presenting from a PowerPoint environment. Okay, can you see my screen, sir? Sir, can you see my?
Oh yes, we can see your screen now.
Okay, I will be presenting for Group 7, and I will be presenting using a PowerPoint environment, and this is the title of our project: digital solution for managing secondary school results. We'll be discussing the introduction, the method we use, the result and the insight, and the recommendation, and also a conclusion. Then this project, as we all know, is aimed to create a digital solution to manage result for secondary school. And the solution we have demonstrate an efficient data handling, performance insight, and visualization using a sample of the data set that was given to us. Our solution also offers an automated grade computation and a user-friendly and interactive dashboard for insights. On the next slide is the method we use to actualize our aim. From the data set given to us, which is the student record, the information of the student, their profiling, and their scores in various subjects in CSV format, we load the data into an Excel format where we perform our data preparation and data cleaning. In the Microsoft Excel environment, we consolidate all the subject into a single CSV file before we now import the file into our MySQL workbench, where we now do our database development. After which we move the files to Power BI. We connect the files, the database tables to the Power BI environment, where we build our visualization and also do some data processing. From there, we're able to build our report, and we did the testing to actually confirm that everything is accurate and is functioning as expected. On the data structure, we created a database schema that has the following table: the student record that stores the student ID, the first name and the last name. We also have a table for the student profiling that contains basic information for like the age, the gender, and the classroom and the seat numbers. We also have a table that contains the course code and the course name, and then a rank table, which is a consolidated table of all the subjects, both the CAs, the exams, and the total. I will also do the ranking in my SQL workbench, ranking the student based on their performance in each of the subjects. And we also created a relationship between the tables. And here's the schema for the relationship we created between all the four tables that we have.
If you are doing a presentation, we cannot see it. We are just seeing like a PowerPoint highlight.
I'm
We can see your
actually doing it,
PowerPoint, yeah, but we can't see your presentation. So I'd advise that you change it from presentation mode.
but can you see the slide I'm currently on now?
No, not at all. Or is it me? Okay, they say you should change it to slideshow.
This is the first slide. Can you see the first slide?
We cannot, sir. So what you
Maybe
do, right? Go down to where your Zoom is and just click on that, the last icon before your Zoom down there. Yeah, click on
okay.
that. Yes.
I've done that already. Is it showing now?
Are you using multiple screen?
Multiple screen, like
Are you using multiple screen? That is one. Then are you sharing your screen or you are sharing a window?
okay, I'm sharing the window, sir.
No. Share your screen.
Okay, let me stop sharing and then reshare.
Share your screen, not a window. That's why you're having this problem.
Okay. Let me quickly reshare and I'll continue from.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, sir, can you see the screen now?
Now you are.
Okay, so this is what I say we are discussing: the intro, the method we use, the result, the recommendation, and the conclusion. And this is the aim. This is the method we use. We import the data into Excel environment where we inspect for consistency. We also consolidate all the subjects, all the scores in all the subjects as one CSV file before we now transfer it to my SQL workbench where we build our database. And we also, here's the schema for here's the database structure. We have a student record table, we have a student profiling table, a course table, and a rank score. So the rank score contains all the scores in the assessment, both the CAs, the exams, the total, as well as a rank of the performance based on each of the subjects. Then here's the schema, the relationship of that table. So this shows our relationship between the four table we have, how we connected each of the tables. So after connecting the tables and we test the relationship to be sure that it's all functioning effectively, we then connect the SQL to our Power BI environment where we created our dashboard as shown on the screen. So we first on PowerPoint, we're able to grade the student based on a predefined formula, and we also build a summarized table that contain the grand total, the overall average, including a remark for either pass or failure, pass or fail. Then after this, we then created a dashboard that we have here. Our dashboard has several components. We have the individual performance component, which is this part here. This one we have here on the left-hand side. We have the overall performance and then the subject performance. And we also have a filter option for either sorting a filter option or a slicer to select the student performance based on either the student ID or the gender or the subject. The student ID control the performance of each individual. When you click on any of the student ID, you are able to see the student you select. Then subject here allow you to view the performance of the student based on the subject. There's also an option here on the dashboard for top performance or bottom. And then you have an input field here where you can input the number of students you want to view their record. So the next slide here shows the result we obtained from our dashboard or our dashboard. The first we have is the overall performance. Here we have that 76.67% of the student pass and female, that of male, those that pass are just 40% of the male. This shows that female are performing more than the male in terms of the pass rate. Next, we also look at the top performing subject. Chemistry has the highest performing subject by 98%, with majority of the students scoring an A1 in chemistry. Next was mathematics. The student performed very high in mathematics with a consistent performance across all the students that sat for the exam. On the low performing subjects, we have that biology and computer science are the two low performing subjects in the class. In biology, we have 86% as the average pass. Then in computer science, we have 90% as the average. We also look at the top performing students, and we can see that Louis Christopher excelled in all subjects, achieving the highest class average, while Davis Ashley has a sharp decline from subjects like literature, chemistry, and geography to a lower score in biology and mathematics. Then looking at also the performance of the student by consistency, we saw that Louis Christopher was consistent in performance throughout all the subjects, obtaining high scores in almost all the subjects he offered, while Smith Michael is the low performer in terms of consistency. As you can see from the chart here, in all subjects, his performance is just below 85 or 85 at most. Then looking at the recommendation we have, we recommend that an individualized study plan for low performing students should be implemented, and also a target support for mentors or peer tutors. We also suggest that may students be engaged with active hands-on teaching method to reignite their interest in subjects where they are underperforming. We also recommend that real-life application of this subject should be added as extracurricular activities to make the learning more engaging and relevant to the students. We also recommend that the school should invest in the teacher development to help them know how to interpret and act on data insights to improve their performance. We also suggest that they organize intensive workshop during holidays or weekend to improve performance of the student in challenging subjects like biology and computer science. And they should also share motivating stories and give award. This will motivate those performing low in the class to sit up and actually do much better. And lastly, we also suggest that parents should be involved through regular meetings with the teachers and the schools to actually see how they can collaborate with the schools and foster their child's progress. Then in conclusion, the proposed project was successful in addressing the challenge of manual result management as it provides a robust database for secure data storage and retrieval. It also has an engaging dashboard for actionable insights, and this dashboard can be scalable for future academic sessions. So in overall, this project showed that it's much visible to actually transit from the manual result management into a digital solution that is more efficient and also will help the management utilize technology in making their workflow easy and optimize their processes. In terms of the lesson we learned from this project, we were able to learn as a group how to import our data from from CSV into our database and then connect it from database into our Power BI, where we can transform it and do other analysis that are useful or we need to do to actually get the insight we want for the stakeholders. So thank you.
Your question.
My question is, I'll be not like a question, but something like a suggestion. If we can actually learn how to, scale up this project to use it to predict what session of what discipline a child should focus on, like science or art, based on the data, based on their performance in their subject. If you can get the data of students in SS1, let's say from junior classes, how we can use it to like predict what the child will do best in either in science or as an art student or a commercial student. I would love us to work on that area.
Oh,
That's
that's
just
interesting.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. Who's going? The next person would be Salamatu. If she's not ready, Ebenezer should take over from the one.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I was trying to share my screen before the
Please
other
share
person.
your.
Please, do you see my chat and the chat box, sir? For
Please,
group
can you see my
3.
screen?
Yes, Omolara, right? I saw that.
Okay, sir.
Salamatu, we
Please,
are not seeing your screen.
okay.
Share your screen, not your a window, please. Your entire screen is what you are going to share.
Okay. Can you see anything?
Can anybody see anything? I can't see anything.
No, we can't.
Sorry, someone should take over before I rectify it, please.
Okay, Ebenezer, you have the floor. Present.
Where is this thing?
Can you hear me, sir?
We can hear you.
Okay, sir. I'm trying to share my screen. Can you see my screen, sir?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Yeah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Ebenezer, and I will be presenting for Group 1. Though someone else is supposed to present, but the person is struggling with a network according to him. So I will just be stepping in to cover for Group 1. So the student result management project, which is our project 3 in the series of our project in this internship, it was given to us last 2 weeks, and immediately we started working on it. So we have the different data set that were given to us. We have different data sets that were given to us. So we have 3 major data sets. So the first one is the courses, which shows the student course and the course code that they are offering. Then the second data set, we have the student profile data set and the student data set, which we consolidated into one. I will explain that later. Then we have the result data set. So the courses, the students are offering 10 courses. So each of the courses have first CA, second CA, examination and total. So I'll be going to my SQL workbench now. So the first thing we did was to create a database, which we named a student result database. After creating the database, so we tried creating our table. So for each of the table, we identify our primary key. So for the student list, which is the first data, the admission number was the primary key, because that data set is actually like an admission list, because the only thing we have there is admission number, first name, and last name. So the second data that are given to us is the student profile data, which is more detailed, the student demographics. So there we have age, we have gender, we have class, we have a seat number. So we created a link between the first data, the student data, and the student profile data. So we input a foreign key on the student profile, which reference student table and admission number, since admission number and student ID are the same. So we created that. Then in our own interpretation, we feel that the first table and the second table can be consolidated into one, since the relationship we have there is a one-to-one relationship. And the only thing we have in the first data is just the admission number, first name, and then last name. In the second data, we have more details, information about the student. So we consolidated that into one data set, which we name student demographics. So we have it here. So we now have admission number. So the first name and the last name, we put them together to create a full name. So instead of having a first name and last name separately, like I said, this is just our own interpretation of the data. Then we have the age, we have the gender, we have the class, and we have the seat number. So this is the code we did to achieve that. So after creating the first and second table, we now created another table that this table, we generated this table by ourselves from the first 2 tables. So we call this table the student demographics table. And we wrote an SQL code to get information from the first and the second table by joining the first and second table together on a admission number in a student profile table, student ID in a student profile table, and admission number in the first table. So we're able to get this student demographics table, and we concatenate the first name and the last name together to get the full name. So after that, we drop the first 2 tables, we drop them, since it will not be needed again for our analysis. So after that, we created the course table. So that one is a pretty straightforward table. We just have the course code and the course name in that table. And after that, we now created our last table, which is our facts table. So this table is the scores table. That's the result. So instead of creating 10 tables for the different subjects, the different courses, so we decided to create just one table, unified table for all the courses. So instead of having 10 different tables, so we accumulated all the results to that table. So that table just had the score ID, the course code, the student ID, first CA, second CA, exam, and then total. So we introduced a foreign key there to reference the course code on the course code, and we also introduced a foreign key to reference the student demographics table on the admission number. So after that, what we did was to look at our entity relationship diagram to see what the model look like. So this is what we have here. This is our ERD, the entity relationship diagram. So it's a star schema. So we have the score table here, which is our fact table, like I said earlier, which link up the two other table. So we now have the student demographics table, and we have the course table to the right. So on this, we have a one-to-many relationship of between the course table and the scores table. So on the other table, the student demographics table, we also have a one-to-many relationship there. So that means if you have for every student we have there, for every student ID or admission number, we have the student demographics table. So we can have different results on the scores table. So that is our ERD diagram. So I'm back to our workbench. So the course table. So this is what the course table looks like after importing the data. We use the data import wizard here, the data import wizard there to import the data. So like this our scores table. So we have 300 entries here, 300 rows. That's because we have 30 students, 10 courses. So that is 30 times 10, 300 rows. So everything in this table. So after this, the next thing we did was to link up our my SQL workbench with Power BI so that we can do a little of a visualization. So this is the dashboard I did. Like I said, I'm not the one that is supposed to present, so I'm just stepping in for someone. So this is the one I did, digital result management for Azyten Interest Group 1. So this a picture of the dashboard. This one is not interactive, so I just want to explain here before going to interactive dashboard. So we have the student performer by course here. So this is like a report card. Another thing we did in Power BI, we actually okay, let me go to Power BI. So we did that analysis to get the student grade. Oh, let me open that up, the grade. So we wrote a dash function or a switch function to get the student grade. And these are the metric we use for that. So if you score above 80 is excellence, above 70 is very good. So downward like that. So we did that. We created the calculated column to get the student grade. So after that, we did our analysis and we created our visualization. So the first visual here, let me focus on this. So the first visual here, this is like a report card for each of the students. You can see that we have the full name for each of the students. We have their course name, then we have their total score, and we have their grade. So this one we have right here is for John C. Emily. And you can see that in mathematics, John Emily has 78, which is very good. Biology 94, which is excellent. Technical drawing 85, which is excellent. So, and we did put a filter here. So in case you want to see any other student result, just like in our higher institution with your matriculation number, so you don't need to know the student name. So you can actually click on let me click on another student. So 104, you can see that the report card has changed. So we now have Jones David, and this is the performance of Jones David. So that's the first visual we have there. Then the next one we have is the average score by course. So this is the general average score by course. You can see that the student performed excellently well in chemistry. So average score of 89. And in mathematics, they performed poorly in mathematics with an average score of 82. But one interesting thing is that if you drill this down by gender, because we actually have another filter here by gender. So if I put it on only female, we can see that female perform better in agriculture, which is very surprising because I felt that male should perform better in agriculture. Sorry to say, I'm a guy too. But they perform poorly in mathematics. So the female perform better in agriculture at their best subject, and they perform the least in mathematics. Not that they fail in mathematics, it's just the least because they have 84 there average, which is still excellent. So if I drill this down to male, we can see that male perform better in chemistry, and they are surprisingly again their poorest subject is a technical drawing, which is normally a subject that male dominated, male usually perform very well in technical drawing, but for this SS2, they perform the least in the technical drawing. So moving forward, we have our top 5 students here. We have our top 5 students there. Our best student is there with Christopher with an average score overall of 93. And we have Bronsera closely 92. We have Scott Rachel 90, Walker Amanda 89, and Adasi Daniel 89. So these are our top 5 students. And moving down, we have our performance trend by score. So this like the performance trend by score. So on the left y-axis, we have the first CA and the second CA there. Since the scores are the same, then on the right y-axis, we have their examination there. You can see that overall, for first CA, they performed very well in agriculture with an average score of 17.63. And you can see that in biology for first CA, generally they perform poorly with an average score of 62. But in the exam, during the examination, they perform very well averagely in chemistry with an average score of 54.40. And in examination, they perform poorly generally in technical drawing with an average score of 49.30. So we can also drill this down by gender. You can also drill it down by, we can drill it down by gender if you want to see their performance trend by gender. And we have the overall performance by course here. So we have the overall performance by courses. So here, this is for biology. You can see that out of the 30 students, 22 of them perform excellently in biology, 22, while 2 of them very good in biology, and 6 of them, which like 20%, very good in biology. So, and I also we also put a filter here in case you want, other than biology, if you want to see another subject, so you can use this filter. So let's look at English. So you can see English now. The visual has changed to English. So if you look at this for English now, 24 of them excellently in English and very good in just 6 of them. So if you want to let's look at a technical drawing. So you can see that this is now technical drawing. So technical drawing, 20% of them perform excellently well, and just 10% of them perform very good. So that is for technical drawing. So another analysis we did is we want to see if there's a correlation between age and their average score overall. So we did this using a scatter plot to see if there is a correlation. So as you can see, there is no distinct correlation between age and average score. Though the older students, those that are 19 years old, they perform very well, better than others. It's not responding. So they perform very well. So those that are within 19 years old, they perform very well, better than others. They perform better than others. And those that are age 10, between age 10 and 11, perform averagely. So the student age 70 student perform the least, as you can see here, with an average score of 83, while students that are age 19 perform the best with an average score of around 93. So this is our dashboard. And to our reports, so we also did a little report. I've explained all this, the methodology we use. So we created our tables, create the models, create the relationship, and these are ERD diagram that I showed you earlier. And back to our insights. Let's see what the time. So to our insights. So on conclusion, so recognize and reinforce success. So acknowledge the outstanding performance observed in chemistry, like we explained earlier. So overall, they perform very well in chemistry among female students and 19 years age group. Like I explained earlier, the 19 years age group, probably because of their age, they perform very well. So implement target intervention. So additional support should be provided for groups and students with lower performance metrics. So particularly the younger students and male learners, like we can see from our analysis that the female performed better than the males. Though the males, they didn't fail, just that the female performed very well more than them. So promote collaborative learning. So leverage the balanced gender distribution within the classroom to foster collaborative learning environments. Encouraging teamwork and shared problem solving can help bridge performance disparities while promoting mutual growth. So adopt age-sensitive teaching method. So develop instructional strategies that cater to the diverse needs of students across age groups. Younger students emphasize foundational skill, while older students can benefit from advanced topics and leadership opportunities. So generally, what we learned from this project, we learned that we can, for organizations that don't have a database, so we can actually create a database for them from the scratch, just like this group that don't have a database, we can create a database for them from the scratch. And we also learned that we can transform to a digital result management management solution. So, and the question I want to ask is not really a question. So I just want to see if you can get a more larger data set than this, like the first presenter explained, or second presenter. If you can get a larger data set than this, probably for the whole school, so that we'll be able to play around it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emeka. You spent about 16 minutes. Like I mentioned earlier, you have to be watchful of the time you are using to present. It's really important. In presentation, right, you don't mention what is on your presentation. You mention what isn't there. So for instance, you're talking about the data set, and this goes for those that came before you, that we have these data sets, and you're trying to explain to us what the data set is. I imagine that everybody knows what the data is because it was clearly stated. So that's not necessary. Mention what is not in your presentation as a guide. Your presentation is supposed to be a guide to conversation. So it's really important that you tell us what is not in your presentation. That way, because everybody can read, everybody can see. The third feedback is I expected a report card, which Mr. John Emeka Group 7 really did well justice to that. So, but regardless, you did well. Yeah, you basically did well.
Sir,
With regard,
okay. So this like the report card here in our first visual.
yes, I can see
Each of the
that.
students.
And so it doesn't look like a report card because, for instance, you are showing me the full name. I don't need that. Do you understand? It will just get me really confused. I don't really need to see this full name in the name is here. So what you're supposed to do was to create in your filter where you put student ID. You're also supposed to automatically put the student name there. That way there's no repetition. I don't think in a report card there is a repetition of student name, right? So try and correct that.
Okay, all right. Thank you, sir.
But excellent job so far. Salamatu, are you ready? Okay, she's not ready. Joshua Agba for group 9. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so please try and keep to time, share your screen to group 9. Mind you, group 9, they are the recent group. They joined 2 projects after, but I was shocked that they still ended up bringing out something despite the fact that they had minimum engagement on the group. I'm really impressed. So please, the time is 11:10. You can start.
Okay. Good morning, sir. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. So this is actually the first project we are engaging as we are the last group to join the internship. And from what we can see, this is the background of the project and what we are expecting to do. Is a digital platform for a school to transition from manual result management to automatic digital system. And so we are provided with different data sets that we use to create a database. And this is the database that we created. So in the database, we created 3 tables. And the 2 tables are, we have the courses, we have the students table, we have the student profile, and then the assessments. Okay, so for the courses, we have the course code and the course name, and the course code is the primary key. And then in the students table, we have the admission number, the first name, and the last name. And then for the student profile, we have student age, gender, classroom, and seat number. And then we connected the students and the admission number to the students table in the student profile. And then for the assessment, we have the course code, the first name, the first CA, the second CA, and the exam, which we also link to the course code and the student profile again. And then so that's the database. After we created the database, we tested to see if it's working by running some query. And this is one of the query that we ran, which involved the journey so that you know whether the different tables are connected. As you can see, the query ran perfectly well. And then after we finished creating the database, we on MySQL workbench, we connected to Power BI. And that was when I had a challenge connecting to we had a challenge connecting to Power BI because of the connector issue. And so what I did is I actually adapted the code to SQL Server so that I'll be able um to connect to Power BI. And this is our dashboard in the Power BI. These are our first dashboard. And then in the dashboard, what we did is we created different filters to filter the names, the the course name, the gender, and whether the student pass or failed. And then from what we have here, if I should come and select a student, maybe Alexander, and click on it, we are going to see information, all the information regarding this particular student, the courses that he offered, the different scores that he obtained, his name, the rank in different subjects. You can see chemistry, English, geography. He ranked 9 in chemistry, English 13, geography 17. So from this, we can see the individual student performance in different subjects. And then, of course, the average scores in the different CS is agriculture, chemistry. We see that he got 52 in agriculture for the exam, 17 for the first CA, and 18 for the second CA. And so this is the same for all the students. Any of the students that want to see the information can just come to this filter and select the student, and you can see the information about the student from there. And then also we have the second dashboard that shows information about for the overall best students in the class, which is Christopher Lewis, that obtained a total score of 927 in all the subjects that he offered. And then we try to show the gender, if there's a gender difference between in the performance of the students. And for what we observe is almost a balance between the two genders, with females getting a total score percentage of about 51% as against as against the male that is about 49%. So that's almost a balanced performance there. And then we kind of created a score, the total score by course name, so that we know the score that the students are maybe struggling with. And then for what we obtain, we see that overall they performed very well in chemistry and agriculture, but we kind of performed lower in subjects like technical drawing and mathematics. So if I should recommend, these are the two subjects that more effort should be put in place to kind of update to make the students to kind of make them perform better in those two subjects. And then we have the count and fill in the different subjects where kind of record where the subject that students feel and the ones they pass. So we can see in the agriculture that only three of the students failed, while 27 pass. Generally, they have the high pass mark for all the subjects. And so this is basically the dashboard that we have. And then here we kind of plotted the kind of, we want to get the performance in different science subjects and kind of a glance of pass and fail in different science subjects. And from what we observed, virtually all the students passed in physics, while in biology, they, they, they didn't do well as much as they did in physics and chemistry. And so our the insight that we obtain at the end is that the subjects like chemistry and agriculture considered had higher average scores across assessment, and then subjects like mathematics show lower performance trends, indicating areas for improvement. So the overall pass rates were high, its failure concentrated only in few challenging courses, and then ranks that we are calculated for each course is highlighting top performing students. And so this basically our work, and I'm done.
Any questions? Any ask?
Okay. What I would like to ask is concerning to connect database, to connect my SQL database to Power BI. I don't know if there's any way I can get the right connector for it, because I was not able to get the right connector to do that. So that's why I have to adapt the code to SQL Server so that I'm able to connect from SQL Server.
Oh, okay. I think Mr. Adejo found a way. I think we can ask him to do a tutorials for us on that.
All right, sir.
Thank you. Or you can provide us with the tutorials that he used to solve that problem.
All right, sir.
Mr. Adejo, are you there? So thank you very much for your presentation.
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Oh, okay. I hope you you heard our ask.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. So
Thank you,
Mr.
sir.
Ajero can share it with his group. I'll copy it and share it in the announcement.
All right, sir.
So you are well within time. You used 8 minutes for your presentation, which is um, very okay. The one thing I noticed on your visualization is the use of line chart in trying to look at the different subjects and their total score. Now, I will tell you and everyone on this particular review that you use line chart to look at trend. Do you understand? So
Yes,
for
sir.
instance, from January to December, what was the revenue you made from January to December, month on month? So in other words, what is on the x-axis per every point on the x-axis is a particular month of that particular year. Then what is on the y-axis is a particular number or amount. So in other words, you are comparing like with like. So if you are comparing the months of a particular year, so in that way, it's best to use a line chart. However, if you are comparing two different things that are sharing the same number, so you are comparing, for instance, agriculture with biology or mathematics, you are supposed to use a bar chart. Do you understand? If you are trying to do comparison between two different things, having the same kind of matrix, for instance, score as a metric of measurement, you use a bar chart. So you use line chart to check trend of things that are similar, for instance, month of a particular year, while you use bar chart to compare things that are different, right, with the
Yes, sir.
same metric, in this case, score. So please try to note that.
All right.
Your presentation looks nice, although your flow is a bit shaky. I think you can do more in terms of trying to make presentation. The one thing you can do is to practice before you do your presentation, so that you have a flow in your head, and maybe even write your flow, how you intend to do your presentation down, so that you are well, you can collect your thoughts and you can present in a streamlined format, just as if we memorized it. But thank you very much. You met your time frame of presentation, which is excellent. This is like the first group that has done that so far. So we'll be moving on to, is Salamatu ready for her presentation? Okay.
Yeah, hello. Good.
Are
Sorry,
you ready?
everyone. I'm ready, but I will not be using my system. I have to use my phone.
If you are ready, don't worry, just
Yes,
present. We'll manage what we have.
can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
And sorry for the technical issue. I was trying to in the share, but it wasn't responding. So we're given a data set by a local secondary school to actually transit from manual result management system to an automated digital management system. So what we did in Group 4 was that we divided ourselves based on competencies in that worked on SQL, that's writing the command statements to actually generate the database. We had another group that worked on the dashboard creation, and the last group actually worked on building insight from the dashboard that was actually created. So what I'm actually presenting is just an overview of what everybody actually did. So it might not be top-notch as expected. So the command statement that was actually sent to me, first, the data set that was actually provided was downloaded. It was a CSV. It was in CSV format. And what I have on my, what you can see on my screen is the SQL data command for building, for creating the database that was actually loaded into Power BI. So I don't want to go through because I'm not using my system, so I'm not on the my SQL workbench. So this is the syntax, so this is the command that was actually used to actually generate the data sets that was loaded into Power BI. So that gave rise to what you can see: the admission number, the name of the student, the subject. We have about 11 subjects: agriculture, biology, chemistry, computer science, English, geography, literature, maths, physics, technical drawing. So all the subjects had their respective scores under it. And what we have as the total is the total score for each student for all the subjects. And we also recorded the average score for each of the students for all the subjects. Based on the command that was actually written, we came up with what we refer to as the highest score for each student for each student. And we also had the lowest score irrespective. Let's say we have agricultural science, technical drawing, computer. So we had the highest score recorded per subject. Let's say the person has 94. So the highest score for Emily for all the subject that he actually registered for, that is what you're seeing on that place to be 94. Why the average score he scored all through all the subjects was 86. Why the lowest score he recorded for all the subject that he actually registered for was 75. So that's the data set that we actually got from the command statement that was actually used from the SQL. Then this is the dashboard that was actually created. This is the student's performance overview dashboard that was actually created. So from the student overview dashboard that was created, we can see that the total number of students that actually registered for all those subjects in SS2 was 30. Now, what you have, those casts that represent the total score, the sum of totals, that's the total score, which is about 26K, the lowest score, sum total, the highest score, which is also sum total, and the average score, which is also sum total. So while we're actually making this dashboard, I raised the question to my group, which is actually one of the problems I actually faced, that what is the essence of actually using a sum total score when in educational matrix, most of our reference is 100%. So at least whatever I'm referring to is that, okay, fine, the student performance was 89 or was 96. So I think we should be making reference to that. So I actually didn't see any relevance, but based on the fact that we segmented ourselves into groups, the person that actually made that dashboard said she didn't have any issue with having those sum of totals. But I personally had, I had a different view, that I had wanted a situation whereby we had recorded per subject. Let's say in agri, what the person scored highest, let's say it's like 6%, and maybe in technical drawing, what we have should be in a matrix of 100. So we had a filter that we can filter, this is a non-interactive dashboard, so I can't click on any of the icons to actually show you how it's actually interface with the visuals. But based on the filters that we have here, these are the names. The filters is by subject, and it's also by names of students. If you click on any of the name of the students, it will activate maybe the average score of that student and the total score of that student per subject. So the first visual, which is the class distribution, we are able to make this class distribution to actually segment based on the average score. Those that scores, let's say from 90% and above, we rated them to be excellent. The color variations are actually being stated. The one in red, though not very visible, the one in red means 94.27% are rated excellent. Then the one in blue are rated good. The one in dark blue is fair, orange, average, and the pink one is rated poor. Then the second one we have is the average score per student. The average score per student, if you click on any of the students, this is non-interactive. If you click on Christopher, for example, you're going to have his average score per subject in any of the subjects, either computer science, technical drawing. So you're able to draw insight from what he actually scored averagely in that subject. Then we made a correlation study between the total score and the average score per student. And we observed that there's a strong correlation between the total score and the average score that was recorded. Hello?
We can hear you. Continue.
All right, okay, all right, thank you. So we observed there's a strong correlation between the average score and the total, the average score and the total score that was scored by each student for across all subjects. The last visuals also showed the correlation is a line graph that shows the total score and the subject score for each student, which shows a strong correlation anyway. You can actually trace and actually build insight from it. So The insight we were able to generate based on the dashboard that was created was that the average score for the students ranged from 76.7 to 93.9, indicating that there's a very performance level for each student. Now, students that are scoring 92.3%, like Sarah Brown, had a very excellent score, while those that scored averagely, like 76.7, might need assistance or might need to be improved upon, that might need to be assisted academically to improve their performance. Based on subject-wise performance, we observed that subjects such as computer science had an average score of 85%, and mathematics had an average score of 83%, which shows relatively high scores across all board. We're also able to rate the highest score versus the lowest score based on the visuals that was actually shown. And it shows that this, for example, Sarah Brown had a high score of 97%, but also had a recorded a low score of 88%. In some other individuals like Michael Smith had a score range between 85 to 67%. Based on the class distribution, students that are scoring between 50 to 60% needs to be assisted. So we made a class distribution and rate, as I explained earlier, that students that were excellent are greater than 85%. We had average performance between the range of 50 to 84%, and those that are lower than this range, lower than the average score, as rated as poor performers. I've already made an insight from the correlation analysis that there's a strong correlation between the total score per student and the average score per student. Now, the subject importance states that the insight that we were able to draw on was that in agriculture, we had an average score of 83. In English, we had an average score of 81, and which are significant contributors to the overall performance, that's the overall average. While biology and technical drawing had an average score of 79%, that's lagging behind, emphasizing the need for enhanced teaching strategies or additional support. Trend analysis, progress analysis, and performance benching are also related to the visuals which were already created. That based on the subject growth
What happened to Salamatu? She went out? That is interesting. Oh, wow. I think most likely network problems. So we would give her another chance when she comes back to complete her presentation. So group 5, are you guys ready to present? Bashar? If not, we'll go to group 3, Omalara. Are you ready to present?
Good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you. Share your screen and present. This is 11:34. The floor is yours.
Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. Good morning. I'm Latifat. I'll be presenting for group 3.
Oh, Latifa.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. First of all, we're asked to create a results management system for a secondary school students using MySQL, then we'll do a visualization using Power BI. So first of all, I created the assessment database, which has the table for the assessments. We have about 10 courses. There's the agriculture, biology, chemistry, and others. Then I created the other database, which has the table for courses, students, and student profile. So after then, for creating the student table, I used the create table student with admission number for each student having on a primary scheme. Then next, to also verify the students, if the table is, I also imported the table from, after creating the table, sorry, I imported it using the CSV file given to us. Also, the student profile was also, and the student table profile was also created. Also, the assessment table. Okay, yes, the courses each student has. Okay, yeah. So after creating all the courses table and importing them into my SQL, then I connect them together using the join table to have the complete. Here's the table we have here. Here's the complete table. So after finishing with the SQL, I was not able to connect it to my Power BI. So as one of us suggested in the group, that I export the tables I created in my SQL. Then I imported it to Power BI. So here we have the student's name using the filter, then the admission number, the age, the position, the seat number, and the gender. Also, we have the high score, lower score, average, and total score. So the top 10 students are Christopher, there is this Sarah Brown and Rachel. Here is the other dashboard, performance by friend. The average score is for agriculture is 85.46%, and for biology, it's almost of the same range. So this is the general table, which has the total score and the students' rankings. So this is also a table that has the first CA, second CA exam, the grade, and also a grade remark for each student. So the key insights is that there's a strong performance in maths, physics, while we have a weak performance in literature and geography. Female excel most in English and literature, while the male excels most in physics. The top students ranking are Christopher, Lewis, and Rachel Sport. The most students score in the A B range, reflecting overall strong performance in the academic section. Thank you.
Did you just wake up from sleep?
No.
Okay. Are you supposed to be the one to present?
Yes.
Okay. Oh. Sound like you're talking. Please, maybe it's only me. It sounded like she just woke up from sleep.
That's why her voice sounds.
Okay. I didn't know. That's interesting. So nice insight. Although it doesn't look like your dashboard, you were done with your dashboard.
So actually, I was not good at using Power BI. That's the reason. So I just
Are you the only one that did this project? When you say you were not, it sounds like you're the only one that did this project. Please let me know if you are reporting your colleagues.
I'm not reporting anyone, sir.
Okay, no problem. And
Yeah.
so you finished at 11:40, which looked like you finished on time, although your presentation was not consistent. It sounded as if you didn't practice for the presentation and you didn't make a visualization or what we expected, like I mentioned earlier, was a report sheet. But your insights or your report looks very consistent with some of the things you observed. The next thing is to ask if you have any questions before we move on to, I think Salamat is back. We'll give her the remaining time to continue. Do you have any questions?
Yes, someone has already asked if we can have a tutorial on connecting the MySQL to Power BI.
Yes.
That's the only.
Okay. We said that our colleague here, Mr. Adejo, will teach us how he scaled through that. I'm very sure he's still on the call or not.
Okay.
He's going
Thank you.
to.
I'm still here, sir.
Okay, good. He's going to help us with that. Salamat, you can continue, although you spent a reasonable amount. You actually spent 10 minutes, but you can continue. You give your finishing point and ask your questions if you want to continue. Else, we'll give the floor to Bashar Tukur. Are you ready to present for Group 5?
Hello, sorry. I don't know at what point I was logged.
We are trying to share your insights.
Okay, sorry.
Do we wait for you or we should move on?
Please move on, please.
Bashar, are you ready for Group 5? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Where is Group 8? I'm not seeing Group 8. Who is presenting for Group 8? Yusuf Musa. Okay. Please, are you ready for presentation? Present. You have 10 minutes. It doesn't matter. You are using your phone, so you can present. Anyways, Yusuf, are you ready? Do your presentation, please. I think we've had somebody do their presentation without having to show us anything. But you have to really, yeah, you are raising your hands and your mic is on. So please share your screen. Yusuf Musa, if you are talking, we can't hear you.
Okay, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you see my screen, sir?
We can see your screen, sir.
Okay, so this is what we have for group 8. So we have the statement as the table contains the different courses, and then we have the student information, and it contains the student and then the student profiles. So we import this. We created this using, from here we create a schema called statement, and then from the schema we just go to the tables and use import data wizard to import all the courses needed. So after importing them, we now use this to join our tables. So we join them using all of them. All the courses have student as a primary key. So we use that to join all the tables using that same primary key. So on the student information, we have student admission and the other things. So we use the admission number as our joining primary key. So we use it to join it with the courses name. So after joining them all, we now have this as our data set. So we have the admission number, age, gender, full name, and then all the courses. Then we have the total score of 10. So from there, we now move and we save this, we export this data set as CSV file. So we use that same CSV to move on to our this thing, Power BI, for our own visualization. So if you can see the screen, this is Power BI. So
Bashari, Yusuf,
yes.
what you are sharing, I hope you are not sharing your window, you are sharing your entire screen, because we are only seeing your MySQL workbench.
Wow, you are not seeing, I'm sharing my entire screen. Let me check. You are not seeing my Power BI?
No, sir. Well, maybe it's just me. Is anybody seeing his SQL workbench? Or maybe it's just me.
Yes, I can see a SQL workbench, but no Power BI yet.
BI for me, you can't support BI.
You can see the SQL workbench, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I'll advise you to share your entire screen, not window. What you are sharing, I think, is your window. Redo the sharing, share entire screen.
Okay, I'm coming. Okay, can you now see it?
Okay,
Hello?
so we can see something, but go to your Power BI. Let's see if yeah.
Can you see it now?
Yes, we can see it now.
Okay. So this my SQL workbench. So we created now a statement from the schema. So under the statement, we now import all the courses using import wizard. That is importing data wizard. So we import all the courses. So, and then we also have student information. Under each student information, we have two student information. We have the student and then the student profile. So we use a join to join all these. So after joining everything here, we have the admission number, gender, age, full name, and then all the courses. Then next, after all the courses, then we have total score. So after doing all this, we now import these data. We now export this data set as CSV file. So after exporting it, then we now save it and use it for our Power BI to do the visualization, even though the dashboard is not that complete, but this is what we have. So we have this one, high scores by full name. If you can see, Christopher have a high score of 10.36, and then followed by Sarah Brown as 10.26, and then it moves like that. So the person with the highest average by admission number is Christopher, then followed by Sarah Brown, and then the others follows. That is, this one we do the top 10 highest student. So now we move on, and from there we now generate a line chart indicating all the students' courses based on different students. That is based on different student IDs. So if you can see, this is some of agric, and all move down to the what? Technical drawing. So then we now decided to have sum of each. This sum of agric, that is total mark of 10 in agric, this total mark of 10 in chemistry and the likes. Then this is the total mark of 10 by all the students. And then this is the total average. Then from there, we now got to move total sum by gender. So this is, that is, female have this male and female, then the female have 49.36 and male have 50.64. That is, male have the highest total score of 10 based on all the courses. So we now created a table showing all the student scores based on all subjects. That is, starting from Alexander Flores, move down to all the students. And then based on this, you can now see that the total marks of staying in all this one, that is agri, would have 2,642, and then it moves like that. So, and then we now have sum of average score by gender. That is, if you can see this, we now have female, male. So based on gender, female have the highest average. So I think that this is all what we have. So basically what I would recommend is, like, we do have enough time, but the only thing is we're lacking more interaction between ourselves. And if there are things that we need to be guided on, I think it is good for the management to do it. Thank you all.
Sorry, I didn't follow your ask. What is the ask? What are
I
you
said that,
asking?
like, actually in our group, we're lacking cooperation, and like things are just somehow, we're not completely in one form, or like we're not having much collaboration from ourselves. And then I think, like, during the last meeting, you do say that you used to, like, talk in other groups to monitor how the activities are going, or to, like, direct people on how to do things.
Okay, so I don't think I interfere in the way any group is doing out their activity. What I was saying is, I'm not going to start warning people. You are not you are not participating, participate. I don't think I will do that. I'm just observing. I mean, all of the groups, and you have other management team there in all of the groups. They are observing what everybody is doing. So again, for those that are not participating, we would take action regarding that because we don't want redundancies. We have observed, as you are well aware, I was calling some people's names. Somebody like Ebenezer, we have Adejo. These are people that are participating. Some other people in some other group that participate a lot. So we noticed that, and in terms of people that don't participate, we can see that as well. However, we would also want to give everybody a chance to be able to participate. And if we are just in the second, this is our third project, the second week, right? And the second month. So in the event that they don't change after maybe December or thereabout, we'll start removing people from the internship because we don't want dead weight. But you should talk to your team members as you saw. All of you saw yesterday. We sent out a message notifying that we notice that people are not participating, and an action will be taken against that. So I think we have responded to your concerns.
Yeah, because
However,
based on this, what I observe is like we are really, really left behind.
yeah, you should. If you want me to address your team members, I am going to do that. If that is what you are asking me to do, then I'm going to do that. So what you can then do is to set up a meeting, and I will come and attend as an attendee and just give you guys advice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Other than that, you spent about 11 minutes. Your dashboard was everywhere. I would advise you guys, now that you now know where your shortfall is, practice more, please. It's really important that you do that. Overall, you tried. For an ineffective group, as you mentioned, you really tried. And I would advise you not to give up hope. Continue trying. It's for your own best. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Salama to that's group.
Group 4.
Group 3. No, is it what's Salama to's group 4? Yeah. You've done 10 minutes. Continue.
Oh, I've done 10 minutes. Oh, sorry. Sorry about that. I don't know at what point I was actually logged out. I started sharing the code that was actually used to generate the data set that was loaded into Power BI to build this dashboard. So we came up with this
showed us
dashboard.
your dashboard,
I
and
don't
I
know at
think
what
you
point
explained
I
us
actually
your
stopped.
insights.
So I talked about the visuals that based on the visuals that we already.
You were at your insights.
I've talked about the dashboard.
Yes,
I
you
started the
have.
insight analysis.
And that was where network
I
went
started
off.
the average age. The average score range between 76 to 92%. Well, since I've already exhausted a lot of time, if it was an interactive dashboard, the filters are filters by subject and also filters by age. Filters by subject and filters by name. That when you click on any of the name, it takes you, it activates the average score, it activates the visuals, and you'll be able to take the average score of that student and also know the subjects that it's actually talking about. We're able to class based on the class distribution, we're able to classify students based on excellent performance, good performance, fair, average, and actually poor. So these were some of the insights that were generated from the analysis, which I've actually talked about during my explanation on the dashboard. So since I've already taken a lot of time, I wouldn't want to dwell more on this. The problem I actually have has already been talked about by the initial presenter, that's Yusuf, with respect to teamwork and collaboration. anyway, I know there's nothing much we can do about it except to just keep the little ones, the little people that are actually active on the group. We just keep meeting and see what we can do with respect to subsequent projects. As Sir already said that he's going to be coming into our meeting to actually talk to those people. I don't know. Maybe we'll have a general meeting where you actually talk to people to actually help us out. Because despite the fact that we're all doing this program, I think everybody have their individual competencies. So when project is actually being assigned to people, choose tasks based on what they feel they can actually do. And I think as a comment or as a recommendation, I don't know what to actually put it. Those people that actually feel that they actually very, like what I see other group based on the presentation that have actually been showcased here. Maybe somebody who feels that yes, his expertise is very good at this actually comes to teach other people that okay, fine, this is how this is actually being done and all those stuff. So that's just the recommendation or comments that I actually have based on the project so far and to the management team. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Your presentation, I'd expect, like I said, I was expecting a report sheet, but it had so many informations, especially for your bar charts. I really couldn't see what was there in those informations. One of the things I've learned myself during presentation is do not give or don't bore people with so much information on your visualization. Try as much as possible to catch people's attention. So give catchy points and use minimum information on your visualization. It's minimal, but it is telling the story. It's advisable you actually do that. I mentioned in the last review that for those that want some of presentations that I've done, I think on our capstone project, they can send me a message and I'll send you what a presentation should look like. So I'll advise you, you don't learn this thing in one day. You have to practice over time to be able to learn how to give catchy presentations. And even for myself, I'm still learning. So it's not something that will ever end, but you can actually become better at doing very good and informative visualization. So your visualization is everywhere. I advise you to adopt using as little information to tell the story, and you should have like a story that you are trying to tell, and the visualization should be able to cover at least 80%, 70 to 80% of whatever story you're actually trying to tell. As for your concerns, well, this is the same concerns I discussed about in please, I want to imagine that most of us in this particular group are working people. Is that not? Can anybody tell me if the current team you are on this internship is different from your workplace? I don't know if anybody can spot if there's any difference. Because I don't think, or I don't see any difference between the team members you are with on the IT, the internship is different from your work environment. But if anybody have any objection, please feel free to. Mr. Adijo, are you here? Maybe Mr. Adijo can share some insight if there is any difference between your team members on this internship and your workplace. If you can hear me, or let's
Hello,
somebody
sir.
else. Yes, I'm asking that if you can tell the difference between your current team members in the internship and your place of work, if there are any difference in terms of collaboration.
There is no difference. It's the same. When you're working with a team, you find out that you have people with different attitude.
Yes.
People that are not coming with information, people that are not just there. But the primary aim is for you to achieve the goal. You understand? So even in my organization, I have such people. When they are in your team, they don't even participate. You call them time and time. They don't even participate. They don't want to be. You call them for meeting. They don't want. You give some. You even give them assignments. It's better you look for somebody that is willing to do the assignment rather than giving it to them, because at the end of the day, it's going to set you backward. Likewise, in this our team, we call for meetings. There are people that won't come. If you look at it, it is the same set of people participating. Obaji, Mubarak, Taiwo, about 7 or 8 of us there that have always been there. Which they say yesterday, I sat down to take the names out of to copy out names from the group. And I found, and I discovered that some people have not participated at all. While some people, once you call them, they all have excuses. We all have excuses. I took time out of work to make sure that these things get done. Sometimes I have to work late into the night. Within this project period, I have traveled between Lokoja, Abuja, and Lagos. In fact, I started the project in Lokoja, went as far as Abuja, then I submitted the project in Lagos. The day I was to submit, I had to share it, knowing fully well that people have to benefit. And again, I looked at it that there were people that did not have knowledge. I took out time to train them personally on my own knowledge base, the knowledge I had. Obaji has been good also on that. So in all, in every organization, your mosque, your church, in every organization, your workplace, you find out that there are these people. Even right from your school, when I was even in school, I've met them. They give a group project, you don't find some people. All they want is the score. They are not interested. They don't source for anything. They don't do anything. So what I will encourage everybody, the end goal, you are the one doing yourself some good from what you have done. Like in this project, I think the most place we even had this thing was that merging. I've never done merging, but I have an opportunity when I'm doing a proposal to send out a lot of letters. I sat down, I started, immediately the project came, I started getting to know, checking online and all these things. So in this project, what I would like to suggest is that while you are doing it, don't look at others that are not functioning. The management knows what is happening. The management knows. When I saw the post yesterday, I said, okay, so the organization is even thinking in line with what I'm saying. They know who is participating. They know who is not participating. They know who is related. Sometimes in this, our group meetings, they appear there unknowingly to us. So it's a good thing. I'll just tell them, let's move on. You are the one getting the knowledge. When it comes to data analysis, it is not the certificate that we get this thing. Once you, okay, let's assume you go and tell somebody you know the data analysis now, and they give you a project. And all the while, you did not participate, you did not ask any questions. How are you going to solve it? See the job. He also say, Gapili Gadoki. Then you open your eyes and start looking at it. So it's not any different. I can assure you that even if you go to anywhere, any organizations now, in fact, there are people I need to run after to tell them to respond to my mails. I need to almost start begging them. Oh boy, send this mail now, respond to this mail. It's holding me down. Some people are such that they do things last minute. They like rushing. That is the last minute approach. It works for them. But for me, it doesn't work for me. Immediately you send it in, I start working on it because I have a lot of things on my hand. So thank you. The Azyten, you've really done well. But I think just as they said, maybe with that message that went around, more people will see to it that they will need to get involved and they will see that they are the one at the losing end. Because I'm sure all they want is to get a certificate and to boost their CVs or the other things. I'm not sure they are there for the knowledge. So by the time you sent out this message and you start cautioning everybody on what to do, some people might pick up. That's what I think. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Adejo. Does anybody want to add to that, to Mr. Adejo's experience? Okay, Salamat, please speak up.
Yeah,
Or
hello.
can-
Thank you for the opportunity.
Okay,
I
please
would like to
talk.
ask one question.
Please ask.
During the selection of this grouping, or during the I don't know the method you actually used in grouping, was it based on the fact that all of us, we're all beginners in the we're all beginners to data analytics, or you actually factored out the fact that maybe some people might be better than others and you actually mixed us up? Because I can see in some group, it's like they really have some people that are very good, that if a task is actually being given, they pick up those tasks and they're able to teach other people. They're able to teach other people and they drag those people that are actually crawling alongside. Why I don't know, in our group, when a tax is being dropped, it's like everybody is just trying to how do we go about it, what do we do, and before everybody will begin to read or research or watch or what to go how to go about it, the time maybe 1 week is already gone, and we start holding meeting. So I don't know whether you actually factored maybe competencies, or I don't know, it might be difficult since most of us, we're doing this thing remotely. I don't know whether it's actually been factored out. So maybe good, weak, and better people are actually being mixed.
It was chose at random without knowing the background of anybody. So it was rather unfortunate that some good people fell in some group.
All
So
right, all right, all right. It's noted. And I don't know if you can help us that aside this aside the review we do on Saturdays, um I know you've really been very helpful throughout the program anyway. Personally, it has really helped me because this is my first exposure to data analytics. So most of the times I'm a subscriber to your YouTube channel. I don't know if you can actually, like, for every project we do, you run us through from beginning. I see some of the, maybe the videos you actually post are actually a guide. So I don't want to say you actually spoon feeding us, but like you run us through when you have a scenario like this is what you do. But most of the videos are actually a guide anyway. We still have to, I don't know how to say it. We still have to pick one or two things, and so like a correction. Let me use that word, correction, for project 3, or I don't know.
wait, oh, if you really followed the YouTube channel, you will see that I've dealt with this same project on. I did a complete course on this result management system. It's a playlist on its own. I was expecting people. I saw some people copying my work. Where is Yusuf? Is it Yusuf? Yusuf Musa. I saw you copying my work.
Yeah. I copy same thing. Like I go through the work, and before I did something different, and I see that your own is more simpler than I use your own.
So
Okay.
I've done a complete course on this result management system using both Power BI and Microsoft Excel. So it's something that I've done before. I didn't just want to mention it. I think I mentioned it in a few groups that I attended some of their meetings. However, it's something that I've been done. I would not waste my time wanting to repeat it again.
Yeah, I
again,
only run out of time. If not, I will have even go through all the videos. I just got some stock things.
again, okay. I think I've lost my thought process. So Mr. Adej, Miss is Uchechi, Mr. or Mrs. How are you? You want to say something?
Yes, sir. Good morning, Mr. Chico. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Okay, just you're asking if we have anything to say concerning the group stuff. Like just what Salamatu said. Like I don't know, but at least you have sent a message. That's okay. But in a group whereby that is not so fortunate to have people that are a little bit knowledgeable about data analytics, and then we have people that they are just Gen Z, just started, and then when a project is being dropped, nobody says anything. Nobody just says anything. Everybody just stay. If you don't say anything, nothing will happen in the group. And I'm just pleading, if maybe like someone said, if there will be a general address, because from what Mr. Adejo is saying, put us in a situation whereby at all, like we are in organizations now, but at least you shall see them, you shall talk to them. But here is remote, you don't even see anybody, you don't talk to anybody. Everybody's expression is at his or her own will, and you don't have control for anything because it's not even a physical stuff. And seriously, it's not really helpful. If you can at least have one general meeting concerning this matter, because it's not really fair. Everybody is busy. I remember there was a night that I came in, I did not even cook, I had to buy food. I was up from office as I just dropped inside the house. I was up till around 12 midnight. I did not remove my clothes. I came back with work. I wore it. I baited around after 12 in the night just to see as if like something can be done. So I'm just suggesting if one general meeting to address this issue, sir, it will be very helpful for the groups. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so maybe what we might most likely do is I'm not going to organize a general meeting for everybody. I'll do it group on group base. So fix your general meeting per group. When I have the time, I would if you want to fix it, let me know. We'll agree. I'll attend and address it individually, by individual groups. So Mr. Adejo, I think you wanted to say something, please.
Yes, thank you. I wanted to respond to Salamatu. I would say, for one, that I don't think anybody has done Power BI before. Has done a data analysis. My first knowledge of data analysis was at Base University. What I think is lacking in Salamatu, sorry, what I think is lacking in the group is somebody to take the pivot role, provide leadership. The first meeting we held in Azyten together, I was already asking for the group member to hold meeting. Somebody needs to do that. Somebody needs to play pivotal role. I think Salamatu, if nobody is doing that in your group, just take it up. You don't need to be appointed. You understand what I'm saying? So that you can move ahead. Then you look at people that are willing and capable to work to, then you delegate. Like Uchechi said, sometimes I don't need to wait for anybody. I go outside the box and communicate with people outside. Okereke can confirm that Magaji and all the rest, I will talk on the sides like that if there's any challenge. And it has always been helpful. So that is just my own suggestion. Thank you. Somebody should provide leadership. That is just my own suggestion. Thank you.
Joshua, you can talk.
Okay. Thank you, sir. So what I wanted to say is that my group, we are just 4 in number in our group, and then I don't know if it's possible to add more members to us, because if at any time one or two of us is not able to kind of contribute, then the remaining 2 we kind of pass through a lot to be able to do the work. So I don't know if it's possible to add more members to the group so that we can be able to work more effectively. And also concerning the video guide, I've not had access to any video guide from you. Where can I be able to access the project guide that you normally post? Is it YouTube or where can I access them? Thank you.
Is Mr. Joshua that is speaking, right?
Yes.
Mr. Joshua, for somebody who came extremely late, I'm not even going to respond to the first question. The second one is I'll send you a guide. You manage with what you have. You have to manage with what you have, frankly. I'm not going to add you. You are in group 9, I assume.
Yes, sir.
You came in after 2 projects. I'm not going to add you to people who have worked so hard since the first time they came in. I will not do that. That will not be fair on their own part. Do you understand?
know what I'm saying. I think that like can we have more members added to the same group 9? That's what I'm saying. Like more members.
No, we
Just
are
to
saying, as it turns currently, we can't afford to take more team members right now. Do you understand? You have the project, the management has a a vision, a goal. You understand? Which we had to factor out for people that actually came late. Case in point, your group. What maybe we can do might just to merge group 8 and 9, but I think that's as far as we can go because you guys came almost the same time. But I would advise you to manage you should manage what you have and just move on. Really. You know, if you know why you are here, I believe at the end of the day, you will not regret why you are here.
thank you.
As for the second ask, I'm going to send you the YouTube channel. Subscribe to it. I think that's on my own part. That's an oversight on my own part, not on that of the management. I will do that. Tosin, you can ask your questions. You guys should ask your questions before, because I need to do a presentation before we leave. But ask your questions.
Good afternoon.
Oh, good afternoon.
I want to say, first of all, I want to say thank you for giving us this opportunity to be able to increase our knowledge in data. Like some of our colleagues have said, some of us are new to this system, so we are not really so good compared to some people. Some might have had experiences before. So I just want to sound realistic because we coming up and saying we should create a meeting, we should talk to these people. These are things we've done and nothing has come up. Even down to when we started at Base University, we're having the same issues. The only advice I will give is for us to, when we are being given a project, we'll just concentrate on the this thing and make sure we do what we have to do. And we'll paste it to the group. Anyone that wants to go through it, except sometimes we'll discuss with some people to try to let them know that this is what they are supposed to do. Because if we keep talking and waiting, even the other of our colleagues said somebody should form to be a leadership in the group. Even in fact, when you stand as the group leader, in fact, you are putting yourself into great problem. Except if your own group are being cooperative. Some groups, once you say you are the leader, they will leave everything to you. I know what that means. It becomes a serious burden to someone. So let's just try to try to do what you have to do and just leave the rest. Everything, all this is for our own benefit. So if you as an individual decides not to want to do it, then it means you don't want to benefit from it. So we are not going to stop you from doing that. So it's just a matter of choice, and may God continue to help us. Amen.
Thank you very much for that, Tosin. Rukaya, your hands are up. Remember that I need to do a presentation, please, before 1 o'clock. So, Rukaya, you are allowed to talk. Please talk.
Good afternoon, sir. I don't know if I'm audible.
Yes, you are audible. Good afternoon, ma.
My own is not a question. I'm from group 5 and I just learned that we're yet to present. So I don't know. And I think we're running out of time. But
Group 5, Bashar has already sent me a message. I am not interested in your presentation now.
I was going to take it on his behalf, but
you can fix a personal meeting on your group and I'll listen to your presentation, but yeah, we are way past that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Murtala Ahmad, what do you want to say? Do you have any question?
Yes, thank you for your leadership and your time. And I'm actually wants to talk on the submission of Tosin. Tosin, you're quite correct in all that you've said, but I will still insist that you need to have a team leader, somebody in the team should identify as a leader and lead the team so that your productivity will improve. And having that leadership, taking leadership role is also going to help them to build project management leadership for the team. In the case of my team, we have Gawan Shedrack. He's doing quite very well, especially this week that this last project that we worked on. He ensured that he is up and running, reminding everyone, assigning role, even when you felt he is not angry, he still carried everyone along. I'm sure that is going to tell a lot. He's going to tell a lot in his capacity. That would have given him opportunity to build project management leadership skills. So somebody should take that role and be patient and continue to move around and carry everyone together. Thank you very much. That's my intervention.
Thank you very much, Murtala Ahmad. So I think before we continue, is somebody okay? Before we continue, for those that are actually saying that they actually knew, I think I made mention of my story, but I will reiterate my story. How I am unfortunate to be in data analytics. Will I call it unfortunate? I don't know, but well, I was in sales, marketing and sales in Airtel Nigeria. And the current boss I work for now was a regional business manager then. And I was just a sales agent. What was I doing? I was selling SIM cards, products in Kano that time. And he was, you seem like a young person that knows, like you are enthusiastic. Do you know data analytics? I told him no. Can you learn Microsoft Excel in 1 week? I said, why not? Even though I've never touched Microsoft Excel in my life, and I told him, why not? And they now gave me a role as a data analyst. The 1 week, they added 1 more week for me. So in 2 weeks, I was to learn how to use Microsoft Excel. And unfortunately, after like the 4th day, they were giving me analysis job to do. I learned on the job, unfortunately. So it was a very interesting experience, and I'm laughing about it today. I wasn't laughing about it. I wasn't laughing about it the very time they were giving me this stuff. I was like, even the time for the learning has not even elapsed, and you are giving me work. But this is the fortunate thing with working while studying. You are studying something and you are using it you are applying it in real life scenario. You will learn fast, you will learn quick, and if you are if you are someone that is eager to learn, you will not wait. I haven't learned this stuff, so I will not do it. Or I'll wait until when I learn it. All of those, being afraid to take any chance. Those things are the wrong idea for learning. You have to take chance, you have to take the risk, like the way you take risk in anything. It's only when you take that risk, that is when you get its reward. So fast forward to 2024, here I am. I never knew I would be organizing something like this. If you ask me about 10 years ago, I wouldn't know. I will tell you, in fact, I don't think I'm capable of it. But here I am. So it's not something, and I don't have 2 heads. Neither is fire on my head. Like you cannot see a physical fire on my head. So the point is, everybody is capable of learning, regardless of whether you start or whether you are a professional. In as much as you have put it in your mind that learning is continuous till you die, you have that zeal to keep learning. You can never be a master of something. You can only be a professional at it. But like you've reached the end of learning, of a circle of learning, I don't think that is possible. It's only pride that would determine those kind of things. It's only pride that would say, somebody who is prideful that would say, I've learned everything I need to know about this space. Only pride. If you hear somebody speaking like that, the person is just being prideful. and it doesn't mean that the person know everything. So the point is, don't relent, don't give up. Let's leave the fact that you are a beginner. You have been taught, or we were being taught data analytics for 6 months. You cannot come and give me that as an excuse. Me personally, I'll just look at you and laugh that I don't think you know what you are doing. I didn't have this same opportunity that most of us have. And well, I think if you would ask me if I should rate myself with in terms of humanity on a scale of 1 to 10, I would tell you I'm still in 3. I don't think I'm the best of humanity, neither am I the smartest. However, it's something that can be done. So please don't use that as an excuse that because you are just starting. If you don't know Power BI and it was taught in class, it's because you didn't practice. It's not because you are new to it. I would not even take that as an excuse. So the point I'm just trying to say is we are all capable of doing great things. We are all capable of achieving these results. We shouldn't look down on yourself or give yourself any kind of excuse. That's what I wanted to say on that. With regards to our next project, I wanted to share my screen. Please confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Oh, good. So we are actually going to be working on, where is Bashar? Is he here? Where is Bashar Tuko? Sorry, excuse me. So we're actually going to be learning something on how data collection process is in real life and not what you see online. So confirm if you can see this.
Yes, we can see your screen, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
we can see it.
Good. So basically, this is a workflow of what data collection process looks like. Specifically in the NGO or INGO space. You have what they call an XLS form. The reason why I'm using this in this particular case is because this is it's actually a free tool, and you can actually use from this XLS. You should already have it in mind that they are talking about Microsoft Excel. So you do have an XLS form that you build in Excel, or a form builder you build using what they call ODK forms, Open Data Kit. And so however you build it, whether you build it using Microsoft Excel, you have to convert it to an ODK form, then upload this particular form to a platform, a cloud-based platform. Now, what this cloud-based platform does is it will give access to anybody to download this form and use it to collect data, and as well as send this data that you collect to this platform. After that, you will be able to download the data collected using mobile application as a CSV, or you can connect to this particular data from the cloud as an API, an application programming interface, where you can use it for data visualization and analysis. So basically, this is what we're actually going to be working on. And it's not going to be a project per se. For now, we are actually going to go into learning proper. this will be our first learning experience here, as I mentioned earlier. Most likely, by the time we are done understanding this particular, what an XLS form is, what an ODK form is, Kobo Collect or ODK Collect web platform is, the mobile platform, what it is, then we are going to implement a data collection tool that we use to collect data, and we use it for some analysis. So the tools mostly we'll be using are Microsoft Excel, an online platform which I will advise everybody registers. I will send you guys the link. Register with your Gmail. When you do that, let me know. I will send out a form for you to send me, most likely your username and your email address will be fine. Then I will tell us what to do in terms of our mobile application. You guys will download, we'll all download a particular mobile app, an Android application called either Kobo Collect or ODK Collect. You guys can start searching that now so that you have the mobile version. And I will teach us how to connect this web version to the mobile version. Then we can start building forms, uploading it here and downloading it on the mobile version. We'll view it, we'll send data, and we'll use it for visualization. Most likely, we'll just use the CSV file alone, and we'll implement a project, a 1 week project. So the project you are going to implement, we'll be implementing here, it will be 1 week, I think, not the 2 weeks. Then for connecting to API, most likely after this particular project has elapsed, then we'll do Python proper, and we'll learn how to play with Python in data analytics. And most likely we might do some predictive analysis, maybe, if we have the time of the day for it. Do you have any questions? I see Elizabeth has a question. What's the question?
Yes, good afternoon. Concerning this ODK, what if we already have username and we already
Just
have
when I
an
send you the form, just send it to me. If you already have that, is fine. If you already have, that's not the problem. Any other thing? Do you guys have any questions? Elizabeth, what's your experience with ODK now that you've spoken?
I used it to gather information. It's just like
I think we've spoken on that before, right?
No, we haven't.
Are you sure?
Yes, we haven't.
Are you not the one in this? Are you sure? I think we have.
No, we've not spoken on ODK.
Okay. No, you talked about data collection.
Yeah, data collection. Like I'm working on one survey, so I used ODK as a means of collecting information from people.
Do you know how to build the forms?
Yes, I built the form myself.
Using the form builder or the SLS?
Using the form builder.
Yikes. If I tell you I don't know how to use that form builder, you will laugh.
No, I will not laugh. I built it. Then the information, I downloaded the information on Excel sheets and I saved it.
I really don't know how to use that form builder. That, unfortunately, is a UI interface that I don't like, so I didn't even bother myself. Anywho, we'll be doing the hard way. Maybe Elizabeth will come and teach us how to use the easy way. Do we have any questions, any concerns before we leave? Any questions? So I'll be sending this to the group. Yes, Mr. Joshua, you want to say something?
Are you going to send the project objective to the group?
Sorry, what?
I'm going to send the project objective, that the new projects that we are working on. Are you going to send the information on the group? Because I've not done anything on the ODK and anything else.
Were you paying attention at all?
Yes.
Are you sure? I said we would be teaching ourselves how to develop this particular tool. And after that, we would give projects to do. Maybe Elizabeth can help us with one project. Me, I have plenty that I've done, but maybe she will help us with one project we use to help her collect data for. Any other questions aside from Mr. Joshua's question? People are no more chatty. You are in a space you don't know. That's interesting. You better ask questions. So, where is where are the chatty people? Let me start calling their names out. Mr. Adejo, are you not going to say anything? Any questions? Where are they? Okay, so I want to acknowledge.
No questions, sir. No questions, sir. I'm just following and trying to understand what is going.
Okay, so I want us to acknowledge a student of data analytics. Her name is Jessica. She's not amongst, she's not in the internship group, but she's learning data analytics, and would want to give her a minute to talk about her experience so far here. Jessica, do you want to say anything? So she's a student of data analytics. She's trying to be like you guys here. And I asked her to join and some of her colleagues. I don't know if she has any take on what she has experienced so far today. Unless she's pretending not to hear us. Jessica, if you don't respond, I'm going to chat you up on WhatsApp. You better respond. Before Jessica says anything, Murtala Abdulaziz, you want to say something? She's chatting me on WhatsApp.
Yes,
She doesn't want to talk.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Well done, sir. Thank you for the good job, sir. I like the video of the first meeting that you had and the second presentation. I was trying to download the video, but the link was saying it has expired. I don't know if there is a way I can get access to the videos.
Yeah, aside now, I usually would post it on our YouTube channel. I try as much as possible to check there. Somebody just posted the YouTube channel on this platform now. Please check there.
Okay.
Yes,
thank you.
we have a playlist specifically for this internship.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay, Jessica said she wants to enable her mic. Are you ready to speak? Sorry, let's give her a minute before. She's leaving. I think she has network problems. But Jessica is a student, and she's really looking forward to learning data analytics and trying to use it to get a job. And she's quite passionate about it. Always disturbing me, but she doesn't relent in terms of, she doesn't even have shyness. Like, even if I say you are disturbing me today, she'll just keep quiet and disturb me tomorrow. Jessica, welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. And hello, everyone. My name is Jessica, and I'm happy to be here. I have this good passion and great passion for data analytics, and it's been a good ride so far. And I'm happy to join the meeting, and I've learned a lot from the whole presentation and the questions asked. So, one of my key highlights today is that before now, I was teaching us SQL, and I've been having some issues trying to analyze some things. And then I just said, okay, everything was just everywhere. I just wanted to join the class and see how everything is going. And along the line during the presentation, I saw people present on what I was actually finding difficult doing. And then I picked some things from there, and I was like, oh, nice, this is how this is done. And it was nice to see different methods of doing a lot of things from new people, and also to see some people being vulnerable and trying to learn these. Yeah, it was a good experience. And I would say that for that in data analytics, I am also vulnerable and I'm trying to learn a lot of things. So it's good to express that. It's good to always try to learn new things, try to strive to join the group or the team work whenever your team members are also trying to do things. It's very important. With that, you will learn. You can never learn on your own or trying to I don't know, bask in the glory of others. So I think if you join everyone to do things alongside with your team members, it will help you build um, the spirit of data analytics and the knowledge and experience you want. Thank you so much for the opportunity, sir.
You want to say anything bad or good about your experience with me so far?
There's nothing bad, I would say, because then it's.
Are you
I'm
sure? You
still
have
learning.
complained so badly that I don't need to respond to you.
Yes, sir, but you also try to respond to me. I feel like my disturbance is a lot. So sometimes when I'm trying to chat to you, I'm like, God up. I will not say Jessica is here again and all that, but it's been good.
Are you sure? So that I will not give you one weekend assignment. Don't be afraid of that. If there's anything I've done that is wrong so far, your experience with me, but that's it here so that everybody would know.
No, sir. It's okay.
Okay. Okay. Anyways, we would give ourselves like a minute or two to say one or two things before we leave. I really have to leave. If you have any other statement you guys want to make, please do that. I have to leave in about 2 minutes by 12:50. Any statement? Have everybody done signed their attendance? Only 18 people has responded, and we have about 32 thereabout people here. Mr. Adija, do you want to say something?
Where do we sign this attendance? Oh,
I posted it on the chat, please, and somebody has reposted it again.
Because me, I've been attending this meeting. I don't know. I've not seen where they sign. Oh.
No, I mean,
Yeah, check the.
Check
Obaji, you will help me later, please.
It is time bound.
You have to do it now. You have to do it now. Yes, I just posted it again. Okay, admin just posted
on
it.
our
Check
platform.
your message. No, on the Teams.
On the chat.
Yes.
Mr. John and Ekadion say something.
Where is it here?
Check your chat.
Okay,
yes,
chat.
sir.
I've seen the chat.
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Sir, regarding our logbook filling, I don't know if you can help us provide a guideline how we can fill a logbook that we are supposed to fill. Those of us.
As if you've not filled logbook before. Please
No,
fill your
like
logbook.
this
Okay,
other
so
water that we have a project that spans 2 weeks, and we have Monday to Friday to fill. I'm just like kind of confused what to fill
you
for
don't know
Monday
where
and
you
all of
did
that.
for the activities of the 2 weeks. That some people are saying that they don't even have enough time. You whatever activities you did during the week is what you put there. Right? Whatever activities you did, whether you open the Excel file to go through the Excel file, you put it there. Whatever activities you did Monday to Friday for the 2 weeks is what you are going to put there. Because a lot of people
He doesn't have it.
Sorry?
He doesn't have experience filling a logbook.
He has experience. Maybe he has forgotten.
Ask ChatGPT. He will guide you.
Aha, so Mr. John, they say you should ask ChatGPT to guide you. Whatever activities that you did during your Monday to Friday is what you are going to put. Then if you want to expand it more than normal, you can expand it more than normal. Mr. Adijo, you want to say something?
I am just getting to know about this attendance this thing for the first time.
No, we just started. We just started it last project.
Okay. All right. You said if we have anything to say, in just to encourage all of us, I don't think anybody was born with this knowledge. And the practices of this internship, I think will give us more chance to be able to learn more. A lot of us here wouldn't have at any time pick up any unclean data and say we are working on it, because we do not see it as a task that will be submitted, if not for Azyten, this internship that we are doing now. I want to even thank the Baz University for bringing in this internship, and for Azyten accepting us, because it gives us the opportunity to be able to practice all that we have learned and to even learn more. So on and on, I want to see it, let's take it as an individual task of developing self-development. Yeah, and while the project is coming, we are going into it and we are learning more. More knowledge is being developed, which in the not too less than no distant future, we are going to reap of it, just as the coordinator just said. He said he just came, he was just a salesperson in Kano, and all of a sudden, the manager just asked him about if he had knowledge, and he started with Excel. Today, look at where he is. And this is not where he wants to stop. We have people like Tom, Alex, the data analyst. They tell their stories. So our stories is going to be sweet at the end of the day. And I believe that a lot of us from here could go over to become the ones lecturing people, and not even just about doing the job of data analysis alone. So let's be encouraged. It may not look easy now, but then I tell you at the end of the day that it's going to be a lot of good stories to tell. Thank you so much. And thank you, Azyten, for the opportunity as we continue to learn more and the more exposure you give to us. Just like the one you started now. Me, I never seen him before, but then it's an opportunity to learn. Thank you.
You're welcome. Mr. Ebenezer Okereke Obaji, you have like 1 minute to talk. Ebenezer, go, then Obaji should go next.
Okay, good afternoon, sir. So the last week I already said everything I wanted to say, so there is no need for repetition again. So I just want to thank the management for the opportunity. And the only thing I want to add